Hello everyone and welcome to Drug Diaries. I'm your host Kaushik Trivedi. With a deep passion for the life sciences and years of experience in the pharmaceutical industry, I'm constantly inspired by the potential for innovation to transform healthcare. In each episode, we will explore latest industry news, trends, and breakthroughs, breaking them down into easily digestible concepts. Whether you are a seasoned professional or just curious about the world of pharmaceuticals, Drug Diaries is here to keep you informed and ahead of the curve. So let's dive into today's topic and navigate this ever-evolving landscape together. Welcome to Drug Diaries. Hello everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Drug Diaries where we demystify the wonders of modern science. In today's episode, we are going to talk about the impact of natural killer cells, which are being studied for their potential to fight age-related diseases. In the first half of our today's episode, I'm going to share a news from the biotech world on the topic of natural killer cells and age-related disorders. In the second half, I will explain the science behind cell senescence. There's no question that humans are living longer than they used to. But are they living healthier for longer? A study from the Journal of American Geriatric Society says that 45% of people above the age of 85 today are frail, often suffering physical dysfunction and decreased mobility that may lead to hospitalization or placement in a nursing home and mortality. But what causes this frailty and physical dysfunction in the absence of a diagnosable disease? One culprit is cellular senescence. Cellularity Inc, a biotechnology company involved in developing placental-derived allogenic cell therapies and advanced biomaterial products, have recently announced that they will be sharing some test results from their research on a type of cell called natural killer cells. I think they've already shared this on the 6th or 8th of May. And these cells are being studied for their potential to fight age-related diseases. The preclinical data which suggests that Cellularity's placenta-derived unmodified natural killer cells and genetically modified natural killer cells may serve as potent and selective senolytic agents for use in addressing age-related diseases. So let's take a step back and dive into the science behind cell senescence. Throughout our lives, the cells in our bodies can experience external damage from the sun or chemicals in our environment, such as pesticides or it could be cleaning agents. But the damage also occurs internally as a result of natural processes like metabolism. Normally, our cells are pretty good at repairing and coping with this damage that occurs. However, as we get older, our repair system starts to break down, and cellular damage can have pretty detrimental effects. There are a few different things that can happen once the cellular damage occurs. Ideally, the damage gets repaired and the cells go back to their normal function. However, sometimes the cell is irreparably damaged, so it dies in a controlled manner to protect the surrounding cells and tissues from further damage. We refer to this programmed cell death as apoptosis. Unfortunately, sometimes cellular damage can lead to cancer, which happens when the cell's DNA is altered in a way that leads to increased proliferation. The final response to cellular damage is senescence. So let's zoom into the concept of senescence and understand the consequences and the reasons of cellular senescence. The concept of cell senescence was first introduced in 1960s by two scientists named Leonard Hayflick and Paul Moorhead. And since then, many researchers have become interested in determining the hallmarks of cell senescence, the factors that induce it, and the effect of senescence on other parts of the body and the cells. While there are ongoing research projects to define new markers or causes of senescence, we do know that senescence can be induced by damage to DNA, shortening of telomeres, which are the protective caps at the end of DNA molecules, or it could be mitochondrial damage, and something called epigenetic factors, which refer to the changes to the chromosomes that affects the way DNA is packaged and genes are expressed. As the interest in deciphering senescent cells has grown, so has the interest in deciphering why they exist in the first place. The leading hypothesis for why senescent cells exist is that they serve as a preventative measure against cancer. The best option would be for a cell to successfully repair any damage that occurs. But when this isn't possible, and the damage hasn't reached a critical level of inducing apoptosis, a cell will become senescent to try and avoid becoming cancerous. Instead of devolving into unchecked proliferation, it undergoes a permanent arrest of the cell cycle, which could prevent cancer from growing rapidly. And because they are no longer dividing, it might sound like senescent cells are inactive and prevent cancer by completely shutting down. But in reality, senescent cells are highly metabolically active, which means that there are still many cellular processes happening within the cytoplasm. It's very active. So senescent cells secretes various proteins and molecules that cause inflammation. These signals can help recruit immune cells to clear up the cellular damage, and these molecules can also support tissue repair and remodeling. These secreted factors are collectively referred to as senescence associated secretory phenotype or SASP. So far, it seems like cellular senescence is a great mechanism to have in our bodies. But as is the case with many cellular processes, too much of a good thing can become a bad thing. Senescent cells are great for their initial prevention of cancer, but remember the SASP thing I just mentioned? Well, it turns out that some of those inflammatory proteins and molecules that make up the SASP can have a negative effect on other cells and tissues. Although senescent cells start out as helpers that prevent cancer, but too many of them can become a detriment to human health. Researchers have found that senescent cells accumulate around the body as we age. So, conditions such as Alzheimer's disease or heart disease and liver fibrosis may be significantly worsened by the increased inflammation that comes with the accumulation of senescent cells. There's still a lot to be discovered about how senescent cells work, and scientists are very interested in understanding what other roles they might be playing in a wide variety of diseases. This has also prompted many research groups to investigate how we might be able to remove senescent cells around the body with drugs or cell therapies, which could help improve the health of many individuals. Cellularity is building a broad technology platform that leverages the placenta's unique immunobiology as a source of highly expandable off-the-shelf cells, as well as diverse portfolio of cell therapy investigational products to address age-related diseases, including cancer and degenerative diseases. Cellularity believes that these preclinical data demonstrate the potential of its asset to target and selectively remove damaged and abnormal cells expressing stress ligands such as senescent, virally infected, and cancer cells. I hope you found this information helpful. Before we wrap up today's episode, I would like to extend a special invitation to all the innovators and trailblazers in our audience. If you are working on something truly groundbreaking, whether it's in the field of medicine, technology, AI, commercial, patient safety, product engineering, medical regulatory affairs, or any other domain, and you would like to share your work with a wider audience, we want to hear from you. Drug Diaries as an initiative is committed to shining a spotlight on the incredible work being done by visionaries like you. So if you have a story to tell, an innovation to showcase, or a breakthrough to unveil, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Simply drop me an email at drugdiariespodcast@gmail.com and let's start a conversation about how we can feature your work on an upcoming episode. That's all for today, folks. Thank you for tuning in to Drug Diaries. Until next time, stay curious, stay inspired, and keep changing the world one breakthrough at a time.